call the honourable member for Dawson.
Well, thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I hear many voices in this job, often spin doctors and mostly media, commentators and agitators, relentlessly pursuing their own agendas. But in the real world, real people are trying to earn a living, make ends meet and improve their lot in life. Tonight, I'm their voice and speech in the form of a petition for which I will shortly seek leave to table. Some years ago, I led a convoy of Liberal and National MPs, including the Deputy Prime Minister, along the entire 1,700-kilometre length of the Bruce Highway. We listened to what people had to say. We consulted with individuals, councils and community groups who provided input on what to fix and how to fix it. As a result, the biggest funding commitment in the history of the Bruce Highway has projects already underway and already completed. Today, there are strong and passionate voices in North Queensland railing against the 100% fly-in, fly-out mining operations that were approved under the former Bligh Labor government in Queensland. I campaigned against this geographic discrimination when it was brought in then, and I still do now. In a desperate bid to win the Queensland election, Labor's leader, Anastasia Palaszczuk, committed in writing that Labor would review within the first 100 days of office all existing 100% fly-in, fly-out approvals. Where a mining operation is located near a resource town or regional community, 100% fly-in, fly-out will not be permitted. That was on page 5 of Ms Palaszczuk's own policy document, Strong and Sustainable Resource Communities. Despite that, potential Deputy Premier, Jackie Trad, has tried to backtrack on that commitment. The people of North Queensland and myself, as their voice in this place, will hold, however, Labor to their word should they form government in Queensland. And when I listen to North Queenslanders, they're not concerned about the machinations of Parliament, parties, leadership and question time. They want someone who will stand up for them, to stand up to the sugar mills that are riding roughshod over cane growers and taking away farmers' rights to have a say in how their sugar is marketed. And yesterday I chaired the first meeting of a Sugar Industry Code of Conduct Task Force, where it was agreed the best means of achieving the right outcome is extensive consultation with the industry. And as a task force chair, I'll be facilitating meetings with growers, with millers and with other stakeholders to ensure we're listening to the right people, explaining the problems, canvassing solutions and building collaborative outcomes. Policies should be created less by government and more by people who know and understand the issues and industries. In the Whitsundays, it is the local people who see the potential of super yacht visitations. Locals, including Paul Darazet from Abbot Point Marina, explained to me that every week one of these super yachts is in dock, $50,000 is injected into the local economy where it's docked. In Umea, I understand that the average stay for a super yacht is a week or more, and they have 200 visits a year, or roughly a $10 million injection into their economy. This is where the government needs to review environmental regulations and taxation issues that prevent that industry from developing, that prevent those super yachts from docking in our ports. Voices in the tourism industry in the Whitsundays also tell me that water quality on the Great Barrier Reef is critical to the future of their industry. Now, I'm working with locals, such as the charter boat operators, to secure research funds for improving water quality in our region, which will then improve the tourism experience and secure their industry for the long term. Unfortunately, the water quality issue and the entire reef has been hijacked by radical green groups to fight an entirely different agenda, and that is to close down all mining in Australia. The voices of Get Up and the extreme Greens are very, very loud, but also very, very wrong. They campaigned against toxic sludge being dumped on a reef in an attempt to shut down coal mining by blocking dredging at Abbot Point. However, the dredge material is natural sand, hardly toxic sludge, and far from being dumped on the reef, the proposal of the project proponents, the federal government and I support is for the material to be disposed of on land. But most of the anti-mining, anti-capitalism, anti-jobs brigade are not local voices. The local voices, the ones that know the area, know the project and understand exactly what's planned and what the impacts will be, are right here. And I seek leave to table this petition of 1,057 signatures representing the views of the small town of Bowen, which desperately needs some of the benefits that will come with the thousands upon thousands of jobs created by Abbot Point, the Carmichael mine and associated infrastructure. These voices are calling for immediate legislative changes that will reduce the powers of groups or individuals to further delay the Abbot Point expansion.
Has leave been granted?